Maya, okay, stop everything. I found him. The ultimate patient zero of obsessive hobbies. I'm talking about a guy who spent 46 winters, 46, standing in the freezing cold just to take pictures of things that disappear in seconds.
Okay, wait, 46 years? That is a long time to be cold. Who are we talking about?
Wilson Bentley, but everyone called him Snowflake Bentley. This guy, honestly, he's my new hero. He lived in Jericho, Vermont back in the late 1800s, and he was the first person to ever successfully photograph a single snowflake. But here's the kicker. He did it so well, with such insane detail, that for almost 100 years, basically nobody else even bothered trying.
Wait, really? Like, technology moved from steam engines to moon landings, and people were just like, nah, Bentley's got the snowflake niche covered.
Literally. There's this modern researcher, Kenneth Librecht, who said Bentley's techniques were so solid that they're basically what we still use today. Imagine being so good at your hobby in 1885 that you basically finished the science for a century.
That's incredible. But, okay, I'm trying to picture this. Photography in the 1880s wasn't exactly point and shoot. It was those big wooden boxes and glass plates, right? How do you even catch a snowflake before it melts?
That's the genius part. He had this old microscope his mom gave him when he was 15, which, by the way, best mom ever. And he eventually figured out he could hook a bellows camera up to it. But he had to be fast. He'd stand outside in the sub-zero wind, catch a flake on a piece of black velvet.
Wait, black velvet? That's so dramatic.
Right? It's very jewelry store chic. He'd catch it, then use a tiny little splinter of wood to carefully, we're talking surgeon levels of steady hands here, transfer the flake onto a microscope slide. And he had to do it all while holding his breath, because if he breathed on it, poof, gone.
I can't even imagine the frustration. One sneeze and your afternoon's work is a puddle.
Exactly. He called them tiny miracles of beauty and ice flowers. He ended up taking over 5,000 photos, and he was the one who really pushed the idea that no two snowflakes are alike. He and a professor at the University of Vermont published this paper basically telling the world, hey, nature never repeats itself.
It's such a poetic thought, isn't it? That something so beautiful is also so ephemeral. It's here for a second, and then it's just history.
Totally. And he wasn't just a snow guy either. This is the part that blew my mind. He was actually one of the first cloud physicists in America.
Wait, really? Like he was studying the clouds themselves?
Yes. He was the first person in the U.S. to actually record the sizes of raindrops. He was obsessed with all of it. Fog, dew, clouds. He saw the physics in the beauty. He was like a bridge between an artist and a hardcore scientist.
I love that. It's so grounded, but also kind of magical. It reminds me why we do this show, honestly. Just finding those people who looked at the world a little closer than everyone else.
Right? He was just this farmer in Vermont. He didn't have a PhD or a giant lab. He just had a microscope, a cold shed, and a massive amount of curiosity.
You know, before you tell me how it all ended for him, we should probably invite everyone to stay in this headspace with us. If you're enjoying these deep dives into the tiny miracles of the world, you should definitely join the loop. It's just a nice way to get your daily curiosity fix and make sure you don't miss the next story.
Definitely join the loop. We've got so many more obsessive hobbyists to talk about.
So back to Bentley. 5,000 photos. That's a massive legacy. Did he ever get to see how much people loved his work?
He did. Right before he passed away in 1931, he published a huge monograph called Snow Crystals with 2,500 of his best shots. It's actually still in print today. But the way he went out, it's kind of sad but also strangely fitting. He was walking home in a blizzard, of course, and he caught pneumonia.
Oh no.
Yeah, he passed away a few days later. But I like to think he wasn't miserable in that blizzard. He was probably looking at his sleeves the whole way home, seeing those ice flowers one last time. He once said that while other farmers dreaded winter, he was supremely happy.
That's the silver lining, I guess. He spent his whole life in love with the thing that eventually took him home. It's a beautiful way to look at a life.
It really is. Jericho, Vermont still has a huge collection of his original glass plates. He's like their local legend, the Snowflake Man.
I'm definitely going to look up those photos tonight. I want to see what a tiny miracle of beauty looked like through a lens in 1885.
It'll change the way you look at a snowstorm, I promise. Anyway, that's Bentley, a guy who saw the world in a tiny frozen crystal.
Thanks for bringing him to the porch today, Leo. And thank you all for listening. See you again. Stay curious.